Have you ever thought about how the concept of dying is really sad? Like, we're plagued by this human curse that all of us one day will succumb to and we won't wake up again. But what if I told you that death might actually be good for us? Dang, that's actually really dark if you think about it. Tons of anime MCs make you want to be better. Watching these anime can instill in you the motivation and desire to achieve your goals, level up in life, and pursue your dreams. But at what cost are you willing to pursue something you desperately want? The first season of Solo Leveling came out a few months ago, and this show honestly has taken the world by storm. Like, in a realm of being an anime that can motivate most people, I feel like so far it has shown all of the things your favorite overpowered MC needs in order to be considered successful. But while watching the first few episodes, I noticed something slightly similar to the Christian story that I think will surprise you. But before we get into that, this is Anime Relatable, where we seek to take our favorite anime and pull out relatable themes in the hopes of pointing people to Jesus. Solo Leveling is a popular South Korean manhwa that follows the story of Jin Woo, and an E-rank hunter who is considered the weakest among his peers. In a world where dungeons filled with monsters start popping up, hunters are called with special abilities, tasked to clear these dungeons and protect humanity. During a particular dangerous dungeon raid, Jin Woo and his party get trashed by this dungeon master. And Jin Woo is the one left to be sacrificed to save everyone else. But the plot twist comes when dude gets a second chance at life and is able to level up to get stronger, which I think is great for him. But can we pause to say how messed up it is to, like, that his party left him to die like a brutal death? But it works out for him, because now Jin Woo gets to protect people and provide for his family and possibly revive his unconscious mother who's been sleeping for a few years. He also gets weird perks that aren't available to your average hunter, for one, being able to have an RPG video game like setup, and the ability to get stronger with every raid that he does by himself, and the ability to be able to escape with a stone if you find yourself in a sticky situation. Imagine how easy life would be if we could do that. Solo Leveling is filled with intense action, battles, and character development as Jin Woo navigates through the dangers of the dungeon world, and he gets stronger and explores themes of what it means to actually have power in one's identity and the consequences of one's actions. Solo Leveling, it was a fun rush of seeing the main character get stronger with every fight, especially after he defeated Egress and made him his underling. Like, Jin Woo is like that, but Jin Woo, before being the Shadow Monarch, was the worst of the worst and the low of the low. Like, in a classic anime underdog story of proving everyone wrong when no one expected it. He legit had no pathway to get stronger. In Solo Leveling, I love the hard work and dedication that Jin Woo had once he realized that he could grow and have unlimited potential, which I think isn't obvious because of the title Solo Leveling. I don't even think that that's the most important part of the story of him getting stronger. The most obvious significant turning point in the show for Jin Woo was his death. At this point, I don't know if the dungeon master, who was supposedly a god, chose Jin Woo specifically for the dungeon, but obviously it changed his life forever, to where this man is like, Jin Woo died and he came back to life, and now he has access to a game-like system to evolve and get better. He develops discipline, and ultimately he's able to provide for his family, which is the end goal for him becoming a hunter in the first place. I think the pull for me with Solo Leveling is that I was genuinely hyped for how strong Jin Woo was getting, and he will continue to get. It's a classic zero to hero story that I think we all admire. Jin Woo got stronger, this man got ripped, he got powers, the girl started wanting him. For a moment, I found myself vicariously living through this anime because Jin Woo pushed past his limits and he continued to get more and more power, which I think for all of us we want. For me, there are goals and dreams I have for my life that I want to work hard to achieve. Looking at the show, I realized that the themes that just are in your face is the reality that you don't get better without sacrifice. You don't grow without dying to yourself in some way and being reborn in some way. Think with me for a second, right? There's someone that you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now. how exactly will you get there? To be honest, I think for all of us, there's a level of death that we all have to go through. Not like actually dying, but in order to make something happen, for a dream to come true or goal to achieve, we can't just do what we want and expect our dream to become a reality. For different life circumstances, this is the case as well, right? No matter what it is, working out, academics, sports, learning, playing an instrument, shoot, even YouTube, right? A relationship, marriage, learning, discipline to grow in a skill, to get a new job, you have to be willing to, in a sense, die to yourself in order to achieve these things. And what's even more significant for me as a Christian, as I was watching this show, it emphasized the reality of what Jesus calls us to, which is very similar but more significant. Jesus calls us to die to be in a relationship with him, but that death is actually good for us. Matthew 16:24-26, Jesus says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny himself and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul?" For people who decide to follow Jesus, to believe in his life, death, burial, and resurrection, it's a call to die to the world's ways, our own selfish ambitions, a call to die in our ways in order to live true life. It's a call to die to live for God and his ways, and also to serve and love people rightly. That might mean dying to our own anger, or dying to our own lust, dying to selfish desire and serving other people, dying to yourself to spend money out on food and cooking at home, dying to yourself to watch TV all day, instead going outside to touch some grass. Yes, I'm talking to you, anime fan. It may mean dying to your own expectations. It may be a whole bunch of different things that you may be considered to die to in order to gain life in Jesus. It may mean temporarily dying to your own dreams and embracing what God truly wants for you, and that is to be in relationship with him. To be honest, you would think that sacrifice and dying to your own self will prevent you from leveling up, right? But the reality is, dying to yourself and living to God is the best thing for us. We think by doing things our own way and in our own way is actually helping us get ahead or thrive in this life. But honestly, it's the opposite. The reality for the world is that the thing that keeps us from retaining true life the way it's actually meant to be lived, which is in relationship with Jesus, the thing that keeps us from that is sin. Sin, the world, and Satan have all of us in bondage, and although we may feel like we're leveling up by embracing our own vices and doing what we want through our desires of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life, we're actually dying. And we're not progressing at all. But Jesus wants to free us from the bondage of sin through what he has done on the cross for us, through his life, death, and resurrection. And through that, Jesus offers us true life in himself. Through belief in Jesus, we have freedom to truly progress, which frees us to love God and love people. But the catch is, we have to die. It's crazy. Think about me as a husband, and I'm growing as a husband. And when it comes to my wife and loving her and sacrificially loving her, I'm a selfish person. I honestly want to do things my own way and sometimes do things on my own. And sometimes I don't want to serve her, but God calls me as a husband to love her as Christ loves the church. And that means I have to die. I have to die to my own self. I have to die to my own desires. I have to die to my own selfish needs and serve my wife, because that's what God calls me to. But that's actually a good thing, because in loving my wife and caring for my wife and serving for my wife, I'm putting her above myself. And honestly, when I see my wife happy, when I see her loved and feel cared for, oh, okay, that fell. But when I see her loved and cared for, it brings me joy. I get to experience a different level of satisfaction when I see her being served and her being and her enjoying that and finding happiness in that. Not that she's finding happiness in me, but it brings a level of joy to me that I get to serve someone that I care about deeply. And I think dying to myself, believing in Jesus and dying to myself frees me to be able to experience that. Not in a way that if I was to be selfish in my marriage and to embrace all the things that could possibly destroy my marriage, I don't think I would be, or I could be truly leveling up because I'm choosing not to die to my own self. Galatians 5 says this: now, the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, impurity, sensuality, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, rivalries, dissensions, divisions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and things like these. I warn you, as I warned you before, that those who do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. And those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live by the Spirit, let us also walk by the Spirit. I think being able to die and truly live and produce fruits of the Spirit, I think it honestly, in the Christian perspective, of what it means to actually level up, because you're not living for yourself anymore. You're, in a sense, like you're not in a sense that you're neglecting yourself and not taking care of yourself, but you're truly living in a way that you're seeking to love God well and also serve people well. The thing is, for people who decide to follow Jesus and die to themselves, there isn't this promise that you see in solo leveling that you'll get better and things will happen for you. There isn't this promise that if you die to yourself that things will go great for you. There isn't a promise actually for anyone that if you work hard enough, or you believe enough, or if you manifest enough, that weird thing, that you'll get everything that you want. Most likely, you will experience hardship on this side of eternity. You will experience some type of suffering because this world is broken and won't be renewed until Jesus comes back. But with the reality of dying to ourselves, we get the ultimate level up and sacrifice to be the hands and feet of Jesus on this side of eternity. And through that, God is molding us and shaping us to be more like him by loving him and loving our neighbor. Like Jin Woo, where with him dying and being reborn, and now he's able to progress and things like that. And he's getting more power, he's getting more access to different things. But ultimately, as far as I see it, because just like Attack on Titan, these anime can be having like a drastic turn, but so far as I see it, he's using this to love people, he's using it to serve his family, he's using it to protect people. And I think that's ultimately what it's for, right? The reason why we should die to ourselves isn't for the benefit of our own selves, but for the benefit of other people. Ultimately, to me, solo leveling reminds me of sacrifice being essential. In the journey of life, dying to ourselves allows us to experience true transformation, especially as a Christian, to ultimately become who God has called us to be, which is like Jesus. So make sure you die well, because on the other side of it is true life found in him alone. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you like this, make sure you like and hit that sub button. Let me know what you thought of solo leveling. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it mid? Leave your thoughts below, and YouTube will most likely suggest a video somewhere over there. So if you want to check out more of these things, check it out right here. Cool. I'll catch you later.